The scratch of Dad's notebook against my knuckles is the only thing keeping my pulse steady. 8:45 a.m. 15 minutes until the bell. Backstage at the NYSE smells like ozone and hairspray. I'm leaning against a concrete pillar, trying to ignore the roadies sprinting past with coiled cables, when Claire appears. She doesn't look at me, just stops 3 feet away, her arms crossed tight under a Valentino blazer that cost more than my first car. "You're not speaking, Noah." I blink. It's on page 12 of the prospectus. Claire, The Genesis of Lumina DX by Chief Scientist Noah Bennett. Investors expect it. She lets out a sharp, dry laugh. No humor in it. Investors expect a leader, not a ghost who mumbles about Python scripts. She steps closer, reaching for my chest. I feel the tug as she rips the founder's badge off my lapel. The pin scratches my neck. We're pivoting the narrative. Today, Lumina DX is about visionary leadership, not basement coding. She turns, holding the badge out to Lucas Reed. He's leaning against a crate of bottled water, scrolling his iPhone with one hand and sipping a green juice with the other. He looks up, grinning as she clips the badge onto his tailored suit. "Looking good, partner," he says, winking at her. I push off the pillar. "You gotta be kidding me." Lucas steps forward, extending a hand like we're closing a deal. I don't take it. He shrugs, dropping the hand to adjust his cufflinks. Silver, monogrammed with his initials. "Relax, Noah. This is bigger than ego. Let the frontman handle the crowd." "Yeah? You stick to the back end." "The back end?" I glance at Claire. Tell him, Claire. Tell him who built the back end." Claire's jaw tightens. She's not meeting my eyes. Instead, she looks past me, scanning for any wandering cameras. "Don't do this here. We've been over this." Lucas has the profile. He's CMO now. He's the face of the science. He's a glorified PowerPoint jockey, I say, my voice flat. He couldn't tell a convolutional neural network from a coffee maker. Lucas laughs, but it's thin. He steps closer, lowering his voice to a mock conspiratorial tone. "See, that's exactly why you shouldn't be up there. That sentence alone would tank the IPO. Stick to what you're good at, buddy. Let the adults handle the optics." I feel a muscle twitch in my cheek. I look at Claire. "You're really letting him do this? After everything?" She finally looks at me. Her eyes are hard, the softness from 7 years ago, from the nights we spent debugging code on the floor of our apartment. Gone, replaced by something cold and glassy. "Everything changed, Noah. The company scaled. You didn't. You're a liability in a suit." She reaches into her clutch and pulls out a folded piece of paper, unfolds it, shoves it at me. It's a revised seating chart. My name isn't on the dais. It's not even in the VIP section. "Where's my seat?" "You don't have one," she says, her tone dismissive. She nods toward a security guard loitering near the stage wing. "Security will escort you to the overflow room. Watch it on the monitors. Celebrate quietly." I stare at the paper. My fingers crumple the edge. "You're erasing me." "I'm protecting the valuation," she corrects. Then she leans in, her perfume, something expensive and floral, hitting me like a slap. She whispers, her lips almost brushing my ear, so only I can hear. After the bell, Lucas and I are announcing our reunion. A power couple, a new era. Try to look happy for the investors, Noah. Don't embarrass us. For a second, I can't breathe. I look past her at Lucas. He's checking his teeth in his phone camera, oblivious or pretending to be. I look back at Claire. 7 years. The sleepless nights in South Lake Union. The rejection letters. The first prototype we tested on a dataset of pancreatic scans, including Dad's. She was there for all of it. She held me when the first version failed. She promised me, once, that she'd never let anyone forget where this came from. I slowly fold the seating chart and slip it into my pocket. My hand moves to my jacket, feeling the outline of Dad's notebook. The leather is soft from years of handling. Inside, his cramped handwriting. Save them like I couldn't save myself. I meet Claire's gaze. "You think he gives a damn about the patients?" She scoffs. "He gives a damn about the bottom line, which is more than I can say for you right now." I pull out my phone. No yelling. No scene. I open the Messages app. There's a draft I've been sitting on for 2 weeks, ever since I caught Lucas faking demo results. The recipients, 12 CEOs of major hospital networks. The subject line, "Urgent, Lumina DX contract status." I look at Claire one more time. She's already turning away, linking her arm through Lucas's, her smile flicking back on like a switch. I hit send. Then I type a second message, this one to Mark Vinson, the lead underwriter at Goldman. Standby. Protocol 14. 2. Initiated. I slide the phone back into my pocket and push off the pillar. I walk toward the edge of the stage, where the roar of the crowd is loudest. Through a gap in the curtains, I can see the trading floor. Screens flashing red and green. People in suits shouting into headsets. Behind me, I hear Claire's voice, sharp and panicked. Noah, where you going? I don't answer. I just keep walking until I reach the velvet rope separating the VIP section from the main floor. A guard starts to step forward, but I hold up a hand. He hesitates. I'm still wearing my guest pass, even if it's not the founder's one. It buys me 30 seconds. I pull out my phone again. Open the Notes app. I scroll to a document titled Clause 14. 2. I read it once, then close it. I don't need to read it again. I know it by heart. In the event of misrepresentation of inventorship, unauthorized transfer of intellectual property rights, or replacement of the designated chief technology officer without written consent from the licensor, all active agreements under the Lumina DX hospital framework shall be immediately rendered null and void at the sole discretion of the licensor. I'm the licensor. At 8:59 a.m., I feel the vibration of the bell through the floorboards. Ding, ding, ding. The sound echoes, tinny and distant, through the speakers backstage. The crowd erupts. Cheers, whistles, the rhythmic stomping of feet. I lean against the rope, watching the screens. There's Claire, beaming, holding Lucas's hand as they stand before the giant Lumina DX banner. The ticker symbol, LMDX, flashes green beneath them. $42 a share. Opening price. My phone starts buzzing. Once, twice, then a steady stream of vibrations against my thigh. I ignore it. I'm watching Claire's face on the Jumbotron. She's speaking into a forest of microphones. And none of this would be possible without the visionary leadership of my partner, Dr. Lucas Reed. Partner, right? At 9:03 a.m., the buzzing stops. My screen lights up with a call from Mark Vinson. I answer, putting the phone in my ear. Bennett, I say. What the actual fuck is going on? Mark screams. I can barely hear him over the noise of the trading floor in his background. The hospitals, Cleveland, Mayo, Mass General, they're all pulling out. They're saying the contracts are void. Read the clause. Mark, I say, my voice calm. 14.2. Misrepresentation of inventorship. You put a fraud on the podium. You can't do this. Do you know how much money? I know exactly how much money. I interrupt. $40 billion. My money. My patents. My tech. And I'm done letting you people play dress up with it. I hang up. I turn around. Claire is storming toward me, shoving past a stagehand. Lucas is trailing behind her, his face pale, his phone pressed to his ear. You. Claire shrieks, grabbing my arm. Her nails dig into my bicep. What did you do? I look down at her hand, then back at her face. I fixed a clerical error. Error? You just tanked the IPO. The stock is plummeting. It's down 12% in 3 minutes. Good, I say. I peel her fingers off my arm. Maybe now people will actually read the fine print. Lucas finally catches up, his chest heaving. This is insane, Noah. You're burning the house down because you're jealous. I stare at him. Then I laugh. A short, harsh sound. Jealous? Of what? Your ability to memorize a teleprompter? Or your habit of altering clinical data to hide false negatives? Lucas's eyes widen. That's not. Save it, I cut him off. I pull out Dad's notebook, holding it up between us. You want to know who the real chief scientist is? Read the source code. Every line has my fingerprint. Every algorithm has my father's name in the metadata. Claire is shaking now, her carefully constructed composure cracking. You're destroying us because I chose Lucas? Because of some petty high school grudge? I lean in, close enough to see the mascara clumping in the corner of her eyes. I'm destroying you because you forgot who built the foundation. You wanted the spotlight? Enjoy the heat. I turn and walk away. I don't look back. I head for the exit, past the stunned security guards and the frantic assistants clutching headsets. Outside, the September air hits me. Cool, sharp, nothing like the recycled chill of the exchange. I lean against the brick wall, tilting my head back to look at the sky between the skyscrapers. My phone buzzes again. A text from Evelyn Reed, the board chair. We need to talk. Now. I type back. I'm at the Starbucks on Broad. Come alone. I push off the wall and start walking. My reflection in a shop window catches my eye. I look calm, too calm, like the eye of a hurricane. I touch the notebook through my jacket. Dad's voice, faint but clear in my memory. Don't let them sell the cure, son. Don't let them turn it into a commodity. I keep walking. Behind me, the bells of the NYSE keep ringing, a frantic, discordant sound. Ahead of me, the city moves on, indifferent. Somewhere in a conference room, Claire is realizing that the throne she fought so hard to claim is built on sand. And Lucas is realizing that the spotlight he craved comes with a heat that can burn. Around the corner, on a broad street, the Starbucks is half a block down. I slow my pace. For the first time in 7 years, I'm not racing toward a deadline. I'm not debugging someone else's mistakes. I'm just walking. My phone buzzes one more time. A news alert. Lumina DX stock halted amidst allegations of fraud. Hospital contracts worth billions terminated. I swipe it away. I'm almost at the coffee shop. I can see Evelyn's town car pulling up to the curb. She steps out, her face a mask of fury and fear. I stop. Wait. Let her come to me. She reaches me, her breath coming in short gasps. Bennett, you've lost your mind. No, I say, meeting her gaze. I found my spine. I hold up the notebook. Now, are we going to talk about how you fix this? Or are you going to join Claire in the unemployment line? She stares at me. Then, slowly, she nods toward the door. Buy me a coffee, Noah, and start talking. I turn, pushing the door open. The smell of roasted beans fills my lungs. It smells like a fresh start. I walk to the counter, order a black coffee, extra hot. When I turn around, Evelyn is sliding into a corner booth, her laptop already open. I set the cup down, sit across from her, pull out the notebook, flip to the first page. Clause 14.2, I say, my voice steady. Let's begin. Evelyn Reed doesn't bother with sugar in her coffee. She stirs it black, the spoon tapping the ceramic like a metronome counting down to a collapse. Her eyes are sharp, the kind of blue that looks right through you. You just vaporized $4 billion in market cap, Bennett. The institutional buyers are screaming bloody murder. I take a slow sip of my coffee. It's bitter. Good. It wasn't market cap, Evelyn. It was a projection, built on a lie. There's a difference. She leans forward, planting her elbows on the table. A lie we can manage. A halted IPO? That's a corpse. Lucas is telling everyone you had a breakdown. That the pressure of going public. Lucas is telling stories again? I interrupt. I pull out my phone, swipe to a folder labeled LD_compliance. I tap the screen, turn it toward her. Read that. Then tell me who's having a breakdown. She squints at the text. It's a screenshot of a Slack thread. Lucas, 2 weeks ago, to a junior dev named Priya, to smooth out the margins on the sarcoma scans. If the algo flags a false positive, tweak the input layer. We can't have a 90% miss rate on the demo, even if the training data is garbage. Claire signed off. Evelyn's jaw tightens. She swipes up. More screenshots, emails, internal memos. You've been building a case. I've been documenting the sabotage, I say. While Claire was busy planning her reunion photo shoot, I was watching her COO, Hello, turn my life's work into a slot machine. He's been cherry-picking datasets to make the accuracy look higher. He's been suppressing the error logs on stage 1 sarcomas because the model wasn't trained on enough Asian demographic data. He's literally painting over tumors to make the software look flawless. She pushes the phone back. Why didn't you come to me sooner? Because you would have told me to handle it internally to protect the brand. Just like you did when he started taking credit for my keynotes. I lean back, crossing my arms. This isn't about ego anymore, Evelyn. It's about the FDA. It's about patient safety. If we go live with this optimized bullshit, people die. And I'm the one holding the patents. I'm the one the feds will come for first. She sits back, staring at me. For the first time, she looks unsure. What do you want? I want the truth on the record. I want Claire and Lucas gone. Today, before noon. I want a press release stating that I am the sole inventor, that the clinical data is under review. I pause, and I want the $4 billion contract reinstated. But not to Lumina DX, to a new nonprofit entity I'm setting up, the University Medical Consortium. Open source access for research hospitals. No more gatekeeping. She laughs, a short, harsh bark. You're out of your mind. The board will never agree to that. We'd have to explain why we let a man with no medical background run the CMO office. Then explain why you let a woman forge patent signatures to keep her boyfriend happy. I shoot back. I pull out the physical copy of the patent assignment. Claire's signature is on the bottom, transferring the Chief Science Officer title to Lucas. She signed this. She knew exactly what she was doing. She traded patient lives for a better headline. Evelyn picks up the paper, her lips moving as she reads the legalese. She knows the game is over. She just doesn't want to be the one holding the losing hand. If I take this to the board, she'll fight. She'll say you're unstable. She'll say you're trying to sink the ship because she left you. Let her, I say. I pull up another file on my phone. Audio this time. I hit play. Claire's voice, cool and detached. Just tell them the algorithm is proprietary and too complex for a layperson to understand. Noah's just a coder. He doesn't get the vision thing. If he asks about the sarcoma data again, tell him to focus on the Series C funding. Lucas's voice. He's getting suspicious about the debug reports. Should I delete the server logs? Claire. No, just bury them in the compliance archive. And Lucas? Make sure you're the one standing next to me at the bell. He's dead weight. Evelyn closes her eyes. When she opens them, the blue is harder, colder. You've been recording her. Since the day she moved Lucas into the corner office, I confirm. Washington is a two-party consent state, Evelyn. But this? I tapped the phone. This is a private conversation in her office. She assumed the rooms were swept. She was wrong. She stands up, grabbing her laptop. Stay here. If you move, if you talk to another soul, the deal is off. The deal was off when she put Lucas's name on my patent. I remind her, I'm just giving you a chance to save the company's reputation before the SEC raids your servers. She doesn't respond, just strides out of the Starbucks, her heels clicking like a countdown. I stare at the door long after she's gone. My coffee is lukewarm now. I drink it anyway. 10 minutes later, my phone rings. Unknown number. I answer. Bennett. Noah? It's Mark Vinson from Goldman. His voice is strained, hushed. Evelyn just walked into the war room. She's got the board in a panic. She's playing that audio. Claire is screaming. Lucas is denying everything, but Noah, the numbers don't lie. The hospital groups are sending cease and desist letters. The SEC is already calling the exchange. I know, I say. I triggered the audit protocol this morning. You're a ruthless son of a bitch. You know that? I'm a scientist. I reply. And in science, the data is the data. You can't spin a false negative into a positive. Not forever. I hang up. I don't feel satisfaction. I feel empty, like I've just amputated a limb to save the body. Lumina DX was my child. Now it's a liability. The door to the Starbucks bursts open. Claire storms in, her hair disheveled, her makeup smeared. Lucas is right behind her, his face blotchy, his tie loosened. They look like they've been dragged through a hedge backward. Claire spots me in the corner and marches over, slamming her hands on the table. You, she hisses. You smug, pathetic little bastard. You ruined everything. I look up at her. Her eyes are wild, the pupils dilated. She's on the verge of a breakdown. I ruined the lie, Claire. You ruined the company. Lucas steps up, pointing a trembling finger at me. This is entrapment. He recorded us without consent. That's illegal. I stand up slowly, my movements deliberate. I'm 6 inches taller than him. I look down. Read the fine print, Lucas. The employee handbook you never read? Section 4, subsection B. All company devices and offices are subject to monitoring. And since Claire gave your office, well, you played yourself. He pales. Claire grabs my shirt, twisting the fabric. You think you've won? You're nothing without me. I made you. I built the brand. I peel her fingers off one by one. You built a facade. I built the engine. And you drove it straight into a ditch because you were too busy looking in the rearview mirror at your ex-fiancé. I did it for us. She shrieks, drawing the attention of every patron in the shop. For our future, for the lifestyle we deserved. Our future was in the lab. Claire, I say, my voice low. Your future is in a deposition room. Lucas tries to pull her back. Come on, babe. Let's go. We'll sue him. We'll say he's mentally unstable. We'll. Shut up. Lucas, I say, not taking my eyes off Claire. You've done enough talking. Every email you sent to Priya, every altered scan, it's all been logged and hashed to a private blockchain. You can't delete it. You can't lose it. It's evidence. And it's all tied to your login credentials. His face crumbles. He looks at Claire, desperation etched into every line. I was just following orders. She told me to do it. She said it was necessary for the IPO. Claire freezes. She stares at him, then slowly turns back to me. The fight drains out of her, replaced by a hollow sort of horror. He's lying, she whispers. He's throwing me under the bus. He's saving his own skin, I correct. Just like you tried to save yours by throwing me under the bus. Turns out, the bus had a dash cam. At that moment, Evelyn reappears in the doorway. She's flanked by two men in dark suits. Not security, but the kind of lawyers who bill by the syllable. She looks at Claire and Lucas, her expression unreadable. Ms. Morgan, Mr. Reed, the board has voted. Effective immediately, you are both suspended pending a full internal investigation. Please hand over your company devices and keys. Claire doesn't move. She just keeps staring at me. You did this, she whispers. You planned this from the beginning. I planned a cancer detection system. I say. You planned a coup. We both got what we planned for. Lucas starts sobbing, handing over his phone and laptop to one of the lawyers. Claire stands rigid, her pride the only thing holding her upright. As the lawyers lead them toward the door, she stops. Looks back at me one last time. I hope you're happy, Noah, she says, her voice flat. I hope your precious patents keep you warm at night, because you just killed the only person who ever loved you. I watch them disappear onto the street. The bell over the Starbucks door jingles, a jarringly cheerful sound. I sit back down, pick up my cold coffee, drink the last of it. Evelyn slides into the seat across from me. She looks tired. The board wants to talk to you. They want you to reinstate the hospital contracts. They want to issue a statement that this was a misunderstanding and that you're resuming your role as chief scientist. I shake my head. No, no, she repeats, incredulous. Bennett, you just got everything you wanted. Claire is gone. Lucas is gone. The company is yours. The company is a sinking ship with a faulty engine, I say. I'm not bailing it out so a bunch of VCs can flip it for a profit. I'm donating the core IP to the university consortium. I'm starting a new lab, one with ethics oversight and a strict no-assholes policy. She stares at me, then lets out a long, slow breath. You're serious, deadly. I pull out Dad's notebook, placing it on the table between us. My father died because a diagnostic tool missed his tumor until it was too late. I built this to make sure that didn't happen to anyone else. Claire turned it into a weapon. I'm taking the weapon away. I stand up, buttoning my jacket. You can tell the board that Lumina DX can continue to operate the existing software for current patients under a temporary, non-exclusive license. But the next version, the one that actually detects sarcomas accurately, that belongs to the public. And if they try to sue me for it, I'll leak every email, every altered scan, and every audio recording to the Wall Street Journal. Understand? She nods, slowly. Understood. I pick up the notebook, walk toward the door. As I push it open, I hear her mutter behind me, coldest bastard I've ever met. I don't look back. Outside, the sun is brighter. The air is clearer. And for the first time in 7 years, the weight on my shoulders isn't a burden. It's a choice. I walk to the subway. I don't need a car. I don't need a driver. I just need to get back to Seattle, back to the lab, back to the work that actually matters. My phone buzzes. A text from Priya, the junior dev. Thank you. I was about to quit. The data logs are on your private server. All of them. Be safe, Noah. I smile. A real one. Then I delete the text and block her number. She's smart. She'll figure out the next move. She always did have a good eye for the anomalies. I descend into the station. The train is coming. I can feel the rumble through the soles of my shoes. It's a long ride back to the West Coast. But for the first time, I'm not dreading the distance. I'm looking forward to the silence. The boardroom on the 43rd floor of the Goldman Tower smells like expensive cologne and cheaper panic. I'm sitting at the head of the table. My spot now, whether they like it or not. Evelyn is to my left, stony-faced, clicking her pen like a ticking clock. The rest of the board are arrayed around the mahogany slab like defendants at a sentencing hearing. Claire is there, too, slumped in a chair near the windows, flanked by two lawyers from Scadden. Her hair is pulled back too tight, her eyes red-rimmed but defiant. Lucas isn't here. I heard he lawyered up and hid in a town car, circling the block. Smart kid. Richard Halberstam, the board chair, clears his throat. He's a big guy, used to people nodding when he talks. He leans forward, steepling his fingers. Noah, we've reviewed the materials. Evelyn has been very thorough, but we need to discuss the path forward. The stock is halted. The hospital groups are in open revolt. We need you to reinstate the contracts. Immediately. I don't move. Just look at him. Reinstate them under what terms, Richard? The existing terms, of course. Lumina DX is the primary vendor. We'll issue a statement clarifying your role as chief scientist. We'll move Lucas to an advisory position. Claire will issue a formal apology for the miscommunication regarding the patent attribution. I let the silence hang. I can hear the hum of the HVAC, the distant wail of a siren on Broad Street. Finally, I lean back, resting my hands on the arms of the chair. A miscommunication. Is that what we're calling securities fraud now? Claire surges to her feet. This is bullshit. He's doing this because I left him, because he can't stand that I'm with someone who actually understands the business side. Sit down, Claire, Evelyn says, her voice flat. You're not helping. I'm not helping. Claire shrieks, spinning on her. I'm the one who landed the Series B. I'm the one who got us into the NYSE today. He's just a programmer, a nobody. I look at her, really look at her. The veins in her neck are standing out. Spittle is gathering at the corner of her mouth. She's not a CEO anymore. She's a cornered animal. You're right, Claire, I say, my voice cutting through her tirade like a blade. You did land the Series B on the back of my patents. You got us into the NYSE by forging my signature on the IP transfer. And you put a man who can't tell a tumor from a typo in charge of clinical validation. I turn my gaze back to Richard. There will be no reinstatement under Lumina DX. The company is a legal liability. The FDA is already sniffing around thanks to Lucas's optimizations. If I tie my name to this sinking ship, I'm complicit in whatever diagnostic errors happen next. I don't do complicity. Richard's jaw tightens. Then what you propose? We let the company fold. 400 employees out of work. Billions in pension funds evaporated? You should have thought about that before you let your CEO falsify clinical data, I reply. I pull a thin folder from my bag and slide it across the table. Page 1. The University Medical Consortium. A nonprofit I incorporated this morning. MIT, Johns Hopkins, Stanford. They're taking over the research and distribution of the Lumina Core platform. Open source. Transparent peer review. No more backdoor deals with insurers. The board members start murmuring, passing the folder around. Richard scans the first page, his face paling. You can't do this. The patents are mine, I interrupt. Individually held. Never properly assigned to Lumina DX, because Claire's legal team forgot to file the paperwork after the Series A. Convenient. Huh? Check the dates. The assignment she signed yesterday, it's for a patent that doesn't exist yet. She forged my signature on a future document. That's not just fraud. Richard, that's stupidity. Claire lets out a choke sound. One of her lawyers leans in, whispering frantically. She shakes him off, her eyes locked on me. You're destroying everything we built. For what? Some hippie fantasy about free healthcare? For accountability, I say, something you've never understood. You saw patients as data points, Claire. I see them as people. My father was a data point to you. A tragic backstory to spice up the investor deck. To me, he was the reason I didn't sleep for 7 years. I stand up. The movement draws all eyes. Here's the deal. Lumina DX can continue to service the existing V1. Zero software for the next 12 months, under a strict non-exclusive, non-transferable license. You will not modify it. You will not claim ownership of it. You will pay a quarterly licensing fee directly to the consortium. Any deviation, and the license terminates instantly. No appeal. Richard stares at me. And the IPO? Dead, I say. Buried. You can try to go public with a different product, but you'll have to build it from scratch. Without my algorithms. Without my patents. Without my name. Good luck explaining that to the SEC when they start asking why your breakthrough technology suddenly belongs to a university group. Evelyn finally speaks up, her pen clicking stopping abruptly. Noah, the board will never agree to this. The shareholders will sue you for breach of fiduciary duty the second they realize you approved a CEO who was falsifying clinical data to secure federal contracts. I finish. I look around the table. You have two choices. Accept the licensing deal and try to salvage what's left of your reputations. Or fight me. And I promise you, I have enough evidence on a private server to keep this company in discovery motions until your grandchildren are in diapers. I start to walk toward the door. Claire's voice stops me. It's not a scream this time. It's a whisper. Hello, Noah. Please, don't do this to me. I loved you. Once. I turn. Look at her. She's smaller now. Defeated. But there's no pity in me. None. You love the idea of me, Claire. The quiet genius in the basement who made you look good. You stopped loving me the day you realized I wouldn't let you sell my father's legacy to the highest bidder. I pause. And for the record, you didn't love Lucas. You loved the way he made you feel powerful. Two narcissists in a pod. It was never about love. It was about the mirror. I turn back to Richard. You have until 11:30 to vote. Evelyn has the proxy forms. If I don't have a signed agreement by noon, I'm releasing the full audit trail to the journal. Every email, every altered scan, every recording, starting with the one where Claire tells Lucas to bury the debug reports. I walk out. The click of the door behind me sounds like a gavel. I don't go far, just down the hall to a small conference room with a view of the East River. I sit, pull out Dad's notebook and start reading. It's quiet here. No phones, no lawyers, just the scratch of paper and the distant rumble of the city. At 11:28 a.m., Evelyn walks in. She doesn't sit, just places a single sheet of paper on the table. The board's unanimous approval. You're a cold son of a bitch, Bennett. I'm a man of science, I reply, signing the bottom of the licensing agreement with a pen she hands me. Science doesn't care about feelings. It cares about facts. And the fact is, Lumina DX was a cancer. I just cut it out. She watches me sign. What happens to Claire? That's up to the SEC and the DA, I say, standing. But I'd bet on prison, or at least a lifetime ban from the industry. Lucas will flip on her before lunch. He's already lawyered up with a firm that specializes in plea deals. And you? She asks. What happens to you? I pick up the signed agreement, folding it neatly and slipping it into my jacket. I go back to work. I've got a nonprofit to run and a new algorithm to finish. One that doesn't miss sarcomas in Asian demographics. I walk past her toward the elevators. She doesn't follow. As the doors slide shut, I catch a glimpse of her through the gap. She's standing there, staring at the empty chair, maybe regretting her silence, maybe just regretting the money. Doesn't matter. Regret is a luxury for people who can afford mistakes. I can't, not when lives are on the line. The elevator descends. 43 floors. I watch the numbers tick down. When the doors open, I step out into the lobby. It's quieter now. The initial frenzy has died down. A few reporters linger by the entrance, but they don't notice me. I'm just another guy in a suit. I walk to the Starbucks on the corner. Order a black coffee. Extra hot. I find a corner table and pull out my phone. There's a text from an unknown number. Probably a burner. You win. Hope you're happy. See, I delete it. Block the number. Then I open my email and forward the signed licensing agreement to the legal team at the consortium. Subject line. Execution copy. Proceed as planned. I take a sip of coffee. It's perfect. Hot. Bitter. No distractions. At 1 p.m., my phone buzzes with a news alert. Lumina DX announces leadership changes, suspends IPO pending internal review. I swipe it away. Not my problem anymore. I open a new email. Recipient. Priya, the junior dev subject. New lab body. Be at the South Lake Union office tomorrow at 8 a.m. Bring your laptop. We're starting over. No more shortcuts. No more lies. Just the work. I hit send. Then I lean back, close my eyes, and listen to the city breathe. For the first time in years, the noise doesn't feel like a threat. It feels like potential. When I open my eyes, I see Claire through the window. She's standing on the sidewalk, surrounded by her lawyers, being hustled into a black SUV. She looks up, right at me. Our eyes meet for a split second. There's no hatred in her gaze anymore. Just a vast, empty exhaustion. I look away, back to my coffee, back to the silence. The bell above the door jingles. A new customer walks in. The barista calls out a name. Life goes on, and for the first time, I'm not just watching it happen. I'm driving it. I finish my coffee, stand up, and walk out. The September sun is warm on my face. I don't have a car waiting. Don't need one. I start walking toward the subway, toward the airport, toward Seattle, toward the future. Dad's notebook is heavy in my jacket, but it doesn't weigh me down. It anchors me. I'm not running away. I'm moving forward. And this time, I'm not looking back. The grass at Lakeview Cemetery is slick with November rain. I'm standing over Dad's headstone, the granite cold even through my coat. I don't bother with an umbrella. The water drips off the brim of my cap, hitting the dirt at my feet. I've got the notebook in my hand, the one he filled during his last months, the margins crowded with his shaky handwriting. I hear the crunch of cheap heels on the gravel path behind me, not the sharp click of Louboutins. These are scuffed, probably from Target. I don't turn around. I already know who it is. Noah. Her voice is thinner than I remember. Raspy, like she's been chain smoking or crying. Maybe both. I stay facing the stone. You're trespassing, Claire. The court order said 50 yards. Please. She stops a few feet away. I can smell the damp wool of her coat, the stale scent of cheap perfume trying to cover up the sweat. I just need 5 minutes. I finally turn my head. She looks small. The Valentino blazers are gone. She's wearing a gray pantsuit that doesn't fit right, the shoulders slumping. Her hair is pulled back in a messy knot, and there are dark circles under her eyes that even a gallon of concealer couldn't hide. She looks like a ghost haunting the wrong grave. 5 minutes, I say. My voice is flat. No heat. No interest. She takes a shaky step forward, her eyes darting from me to the headstone. I lost everything, Noah. The house in Medina. The Park Avenue apartment. The board, they voted to claw back my unvested shares. I'm broke. Lucas. She chokes on his name. Lucas testified against me last week. He told the SEC I forced him to alter the data. Said he was scared of me. He's not wrong, I reply. I look back at the stone. You did force him, and he's a coward who folded the second the feds showed up. You deserve each other. Tears start streaming down her face. She doesn't wipe them away. They just mix with the rain on her cheeks. I am sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I wanted to be more than just Noah Bennett's wife. I wanted to be somebody. I let out a dry, humorless chuckle. You were somebody. You were the CEO of a company that was actually saving lives. But that wasn't enough, was it? You needed the spotlight. You needed the magazine covers. You needed to stand next to a pretty boy who could lie as good as you. It wasn't like that. She snaps, her voice echoing slightly in the quiet cemetery. She takes another step, reaching for my arm. I pull away before she can touch me. The look in her eyes shifts from sorrow to a flash of the old Claire, the one who used to snap her fingers to get what she wanted. I built the brand. I raised the capital. I made you a millionaire. I was a millionaire before you. I correct her. I own the patents. I own the IP. You just managed the cash flow, and you managed it right into a cliff. I tapped the notebook against my palm. You didn't make me anything. You just took what I built and tried to put your name on it. She sinks to her knees in the wet grass, her hands gripping the edge of Dad's headstone like it's a lifeline. I came to ask for your forgiveness, Noah. For us. For what we had. Can't you see I'm drowning? I crouch down, bringing myself to her eye level. I look at her. Really look at her. There's no remorse in those eyes. Only self-pity. Only the realization that the game is over and she lost. I lean in, close enough that she can see the lack of emotion in my stare. You don't want forgiveness, Claire. You want absolution. You wanted to tell you it's okay, so you can sleep at night. But it's not okay. You didn't just lie to me. You lied to the FDA. You lied to the hospitals. You lied to the thousands of patients who trusted that our software wouldn't miss their tumors because you wanted a better stock price. I stand back up, looking down at her. She's shivering now, her teeth chattering. You keep saying you lost everything. But you know what the cruelest part is? You didn't lose everything. You still have your health. You still have your freedom. For now, at least. Try having stage 4 pancreatic cancer and finding out the only diagnostic tool that could have saved you was sabotaged by a CEO chasing a headline. She lets out a strangled sob. Stop it. Just stop. I said I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't rebuild trust. I say, my voice cutting through her cries. Sorry doesn't undo the data tampering. Sorry doesn't bring my father back. I pull a single white rose from inside my coat. I brought it for him, not for her, and place it on the headstone. I trace the engraved letters of his name with my thumb. You think you betrayed me, Claire. You think this is about a marriage, or a promotion, or a kiss with Lucas Reed in the break room. I turn and start walking away, not looking back. Her sobs follow me down the path, ragged and broken. You didn't betray me, I say over my shoulder, my voice carrying in the damp air. You betrayed him. I stop at the gate, turning just enough to see her silhouette against the gray sky, still kneeling in the mud. You betrayed the kid who stayed up until 3 a.m. debugging code because she believed the tech could change the world. You betrayed the woman who promised me, on this very ground, that she'd never let anyone forget where it came from. You didn't just steal my name, Claire. You stole your own integrity. And that's a theft no bankruptcy court can fix. I get into the Tesla. The seats are warm. The silence is absolute. I look at the notebook on the passenger seat. It's open to the last page. Dad's final note, written 2 days before he died. Make it count. I start the car. The garage door rolls up, revealing the gray Seattle sky. I pull out of the cemetery, leaving the ghosts behind. My phone buzzes. It's Priya, Dr. Bennett. The team at Johns Hopkins just validated the new demographic module. 0 false negatives on the sarcoma scans. We're ready to publish. Good, I say. Schedule the press conference. And Priya? Make sure my name is on the peer review, but make sure the credit goes to the open source community. No more chief titles, just the science. Yes, sir. And Noah, welcome back. I hang up. I drive past the old Lumina DX headquarters in South Lake Union. The lights are off. The sign is gone. In its place, a new logo is being hoisted up. Bennett Oncology Institute. I pull into the parking garage, take the elevator to the top floor. The lab is quiet, humming with the sound of servers and the low murmur of grad students. I walk to the window, looking out over Lake Union. The water is choppy, the ferries cutting white lines through the gray. I take the notebook out, place it in the drawer of my new desk. I don't lock it. It's not a secret anymore. It's a foundation. Claire's face flashes in my mind, kneeling in the rain, begging for forgiveness I'll never give. It doesn't bring me peace, but it brings me clarity. She's a cautionary tale, a variable in an equation that failed. I moved on to cleaner data. I sit down at my terminal, log into the build server. The code is waiting. The future is waiting. And for the first time since Dad died, I don't feel the weight of the past. I feel the weight of the work, and it fits perfectly.